All right, welcome back. A Flipkart delivery executive has been arrested after a Bengaluru woman accused him of forcing his way into her apartment and exposing himself to her despite being repeatedly denied permission to enter. The accused has been identified as Vijay Malkarjun Kamath, who was taken into custody by the police following the woman's complaint. Police have registered a case under Section 75, 79 and 329(2) of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. The incident gained widespread attention after the woman shared her account on social media, alleging that the delivery executive insisted on using her washroom while delivering a parcel. According to the woman, she repeatedly refused a request and told him that she does not allow strangers inside her home. She also suggested that he seek help from male neighbors living next door if it was an emergency. Despite her repeated refusals, she alleged the delivery executive removed his footwear and entered her apartment without her consent. Let's take a look at the video recording of the incident shared on social media and the woman's statement.
लेकिन पेमेंट कर रही थी, मेरे को बोलता है मैम मेरे को वॉशरूम जाना है। मैं बोली नहीं भैया मैं अलाउ नहीं करूँगी, सॉरी। बहुत फोर्स करने लगे, नहीं मैम प्लीज 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 मेरे को जाना है, बहुत इमरजेंसी। थोड़ा करना और हिंदी मिक्स करके बात करना, नो सर मैं आपको नहीं अलाउ करूँगी, आई एम सॉरी। बहुत फोर्स किया तो बोली नहीं सर मैं अकेले रहती हूँ, मेरे घर में फैमिली भी नहीं है अभी, मैं आपको नहीं अलाउ करूँगी, मैं किसी को नहीं अलाउ करती हूँ। अब इनका सिचुएशन अच्छा नहीं चल रहा है, आई एम सॉरी, ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड। इतना फोर्स किया, मैं नहीं बोली, उसके बाद मैं दरवाजे के अंदर से जा रही थी, आई डोंट शूज निकाल के फोर्सफुली वॉशरूम चले गया। मैं उसको मना भी करी, फोर्सफुली चले गए। मेरे को लगा शायद इसको बहुत ज्यादा इमरजेंसी है, फिर भी चले गए। पर मैं अंदर से वाटर यूज, मैं दरवाजा ओपन रखी थी, दरवाजे के पास ही खड़ी थी और अपना कैमरा ऑन रखी थी। मेरे दिमाग में बस चल रहा था क्योंकि आजकल इतने ज्यादा क्राइम हो रहे हैं, पहली बार ये क्राइम हो रहे करके ना मैं घर से बाहर जाती हूँ, ना मैं किसी के साथ भी नहीं जाती, लेट नाइट भी नहीं जाती हूँ तो मैं अपने आप को देखो, मेरे साथ बचपन में ना बहुत फिजिकल हरासमेंट हो चुकी है, बाहर फैमिली हर जगह, मेरे को पता है, मैं खुद एक विक्टिम हूँ, इसलिए मैं कभी किसी को भरोसा नहीं करती, मैं इसको भी अलाउ नहीं कर रही थी, ये फोर्सफुली गया।
What, भैया? I don't allow anyone. I don't allow anyone. What is this, huh? What is this, huh? What is this, huh? What are you thinking about me? No, what are you thinking about me? No, wait, I will do police case. I help you. I told I won't allow anyone in my home. No, I said I will not allow anyone. Then how you came? You came forcefully inside and you are showing your private part to me. No, I will do police complaint. Wait, I will do police.
All right, Ambar Zaidi, a social activist, is joining us at this point in time. Shobal Singh, social activist, also with us on the broadcast to talk more about this. Ambar Zaidi, I'll come to you. How bizarre does this seem to you? And you know, entering somebody's house when they've already said no, and you know, forcefully entering and using the bathroom, this constitutes, you know, a level of illegality that most of us dread when it comes to people coming into our house. What should be done to this gentleman?
Vineet, first and foremost, let me begin with one very simple question. If a woman is not safe inside her own locked apartment, then where exactly do we expect her to feel safe? And I saw that video where she was crying. And this is not just an incident from deserted road at midnight. This is Bengaluru, and this is a women's house. And the accused allegedly reached the doorstep through the legitimate delivery assignment, and according to the police version reported in the media, that delivery executive arrived to the delivery order just to deliver the order and asked to use the washroom, and alleged entered the flat without proper permission. And the woman has also alleged that he later exposed himself and sexually harassed her. But now the question is that there are so many legal points here, and the police has also registered the case under Section 75, 79 and 329 Section 2 of PNS Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. The Section 75, those we all know all the legalities, but now the question also, we have to understand that so many people they are saying that please, just we have to understand that we do not need to trivialize this as an uncomfortable delivery experience, as so many people are saying. The allegation raised question in sexual harassment, the women privacy and alleged unauthorized intrusion into her home. And at the same time, the accused is also entitled to the due process. Allegation must be proved in the accordance of the law, but the process of the accused cannot be, it cannot be excused in silence and question about the system. We have to also held responsible to the platform, the Flipkart. They are saying that our agent is cooperating with the authorities and investigators. So my question is that the e-commerce industry is very direct. That every customer's name, phone number, and exact. And we have seen so many similar incidents in the past that they get phone numbers of the female clients and they later harass them on, through social media apps, and similar cases we have witnessed in the past. So what does that customer know about the stranger being authorized to reach the doorstep? What is the, background verification process? Is criminal, extended verification mandatory? Is it the periodic that merely done onboarding? How they are, onboarding them, how they are hiring them, and
Correct.
how we ensure that the delivery agent who is coming at the doorstep is, a verified person. So many times I have received, false or, some wrong delivery assignments. So there are so many risks, in this entire process. So I think these online e-commerce platforms, they need to, ensure that this entire system should be safe for the, especially for the females. And this is my, the question, because
you've made some solid points.
Yes.
You've made some solid points. Whether this constitutes to the fact that people are not even safe in their house, and secondly, what is the vetting process when it comes to hiring these
Yes.
people? We are living in an age of fast commerce, fast delivery commerce. This is perhaps the flip side, the underbelly of that particular campaign. But before that,
Yes.
I'm going to go to Shobal Singh, but before that, let me also get a quick update from my colleague Belly Thomas, who's joining us from Bengaluru at this point in time, who's going to tell us the latest. Belly, what we know is that this particular individual has been arrested. All right, does it end over there, or the company that he works for is also going to come into the network of liability?
Absolutely, Vinit. So right now, I am at the very place in front of the victim's apartment here in Munekolela. So this is the buildings. I can show my VJ. So this particular building, which is 5 floors, and each of the floor has two houses. And the time I am, I have entered this area, I can see buzzing of these delivery personals in this entire area with these, most of them with their electric scooters. And this particular area is like, hot hub of techies who are staying here. Every other house you can spot a techie is what I found. So I tried to speak to the victim today, but she is still in a state of shock. She kind of responded to me behind her closed door, asking me who I was, and I had a difficult time to make her convinced that I was a journalist, and I just wanted to have a word, and I've come here to instill confidence in her that the law takes its course, and we'll all be supporting you. And still that poor woman is like kind of frustrated, and she's still under a state of shock, not opening the door, and she wouldn't want to talk is what, and she also said that she will have to get her family's consent for talking to the media until certain level of legal procedures happen, so on and and so forth. Now, you had asked me as to what happened to this delivery personnel who was arrested by the Marthalli police. He has been identified as a 22-year-old Vijay Mallika Arjun Kamath, who is a delivery personnel, and Flipkart has also reacted to this incident, that this kind of an attitude cannot be tolerated, and he is out of the system. So as soon as I'll quote what the Flipkart statement is, that as soon as the matter came to our attention, we immediately terminated the engagement of the delivery partner involved. An FIR has been registered, and we are fully committed to cooperate with the investigating authorities, and all delivery partners undergo background verification and mandatory training before onboarding. While incidents of this nature are extremely rare, even a single such incident is unacceptable. We are reviewing the matter thoroughly to determine whether any additional measures can further strengthen our customer safety processes. So this is the reaction or the response that's coming from the company, who confidently says that this particular delivery personnel has been off-boarded, and such things would be taken care in the future is what. But coming to the reality here, we can see this victim is still not confident about coming out. She is not even opening a door if somebody is knocking on her doors. So this is what the condition is. She's still under shock, and she in fact had sought my advice. That she also told me that the incident happened at around 1:33 in the afternoon. So it was on broad daylight that this had happened, and she could go to the police station only at around 7:30 after all these issues had happened. And when she went to the police station, the first thing the cops asked her was that why did she post it on social media, was the first question as well. That kind of shocked her. And
Belly, stay with us. Let me get a response from Shobal Singh on this particular incident as well. Shobal Singh, what do you think happened over here? This is obviously an employee of Flipkart. Flipkart has done some crisis management as well, saying that we've immediately fired this person. But is that the least that they can do, firing this person? I'm sure there are plenty more like him.
Absolutely. And I think like Flipkart, there are so many other e-commerce, the companies where all these people come and deliver goods. And it's happening every day with so many houses, so many flats. But then where is the accountability? I think this accountability lies with the company. And especially with Flipkart. I mean, even if they're doing a background check, what is this background check about? When the person concerned is coming in the broad daylight and harassing a lady mentally, it's a mental torture, because now she'll remember this throughout her life. It's a major scar which has happened to her mentally. So what happens to the mental problem which she will face throughout? She'll doubt each and every person who knocks at her door or rings the bell. So I think first and foremost, the Flipkart or any other companies like these who are doing a background check, they have to bear the brunt firstly, because everybody's trusting Flipkart. They're not trusting the person who's coming there. They're trusting the company. So the onus fully lies on the company. Secondly, I would say, yes, these incidents this is one incident where the lady has responded. Maybe there's so many others where it goes unnoticed. People are not reporting about it. And it must be happening very rampantly. It's just one of the cases which has come to light and people are talking about it, and it's come into the news, and she's posted on social media and everything is gathered. And this is also very strange that the police people are saying don't put it on media. Why not? Because that is where you can kind of generate public support. And then obviously then you can reach out to people and they would also be aware. This is about awareness also. Since she's posted it on media, people would be more aware about these incidents which are happening. Today, I think, in fact, day before yesterday, my mother had ordered something online and she had not ordered, she'd ordered something else. And there was some guy who knocked at the door. He forcefully she said, give me money to see what the packet is. He said, no, you have to give the payment and I'm going. And when she opened, it was some Chinese cream. So can you believe it, people, where there are so many of us who are in the flat and the people know that they are there, they're still taking advantage of that. So let's kind of, we have to take this more seriously than just being a lady issue. There are children, there are young adults who also take deliveries. So it's just not about women or young ladies. It's about everybody and anybody, who are taking these deliveries. Yes.
You're quite right about that. In fact, let's look at some reactions that have come on Twitter also. I'm going to ask my PCR to, in fact, focus in on the screen grab that I have, where also some visuals from the day of the incident while this gentleman was trying to enter the house are also there. This is, of course, the prima facie event as it unfolded in Bengaluru. This person exposed himself before leaving the apartment, so obviously this was not an emergency situation. He was looking for some sort of a window to create more mischief. Perhaps he changed his mind right in the middle of it, and this is a screen grab from when he was pleading to enter her house. This is the face of this guy, the agent that Flipkart employed. Remember that in today's day and age, folks, all of us rely on quick commerce. All of us heavily depend on these agents who walk into our doors, come within inches away from our doors, to our families, to our wives, to our daughters, to our mothers. Is this sort of a microcosm of a bigger issue at hand which is not being addressed at the moment? Are these criminals waiting for the right opportunity in the guise of delivery agents? That is something that we need to understand and need to focus on, because if not, then there needs to be a system. There needs to be some sort of a regulation behind this. There is more information coming in through Twitter, what people are saying. Sunil Maurya goes on to say, fortunately the woman was alert, that's why she recorded the video. This is something that's worked in her favor. Otherwise, victim blaming is also not something that I rule out in cases like this, where the victim itself is blamed for putting out allegations such as that, but she has supported her allegations with videos. And otherwise, Sunil Maurya goes on to say nobody would have believed her. She was terrified. It was obscene, and this happened inside her house. It's a sacrosanct space, and it shouldn't have happened there. Serious questions have to be raised about Flipkart's delivery service. Is it only Flipkart, or is it Amazon? Is it Blinkit? Is it Zepto? Are all of them perhaps using a mixture of similar agents? Obviously these agents perhaps don't work for one company alone. They represent different companies, just like you have a taxi service called Rapido, where a taxi driver would be working for an Uber, he would be working for an Ola, he could be working for somebody else as well. So I think this brings us to a bigger question, Amber, that this is not just about Flipkart, it's about this entire ecosystem of quick commerce delivery, which needs to be regulated by the government and regulated fast.
This was the point I wanted to highlight. And when an allegation of serious sexual misconduct is made, or other safety concerns, and also I know I'm sure that there are loopholes in the entire e-commerce system, because if I order something, I get something else, as also my co-panelist raised here. Sometimes we out of nowhere receive some other parcel, and we are forced to pay and receive the delivery sometimes. So there are some loopholes, and there is an industry-wide mechanism to ensure the same person does not simply move to another platform. As the Flipkart said that we follow all the rules before, and a background check before onboarding any. So I'm not also accusing every delivery worker, because there are millions of gig workers who are earning their livelihood with dignity and honesty. But that is precisely why we must separate hardworking delivery personnel from individuals who may misuse platform access. And this discussion is about the corporate duty of the care. Companies have built the sophisticated system to track parcels from warehouse to doorstep, and they send tons of notification telling that my package is arriving. But why they can't build an equally sophisticated safety architecture? Why there is no prominent silent SOS button during an active delivery? This is a big issue, and especially as my co-panelist also said, there adults, their children, women at home who are receiving the delivery. So why can't a customer immediately report delivery person refusing to leave, or we are forced to receive some wrong assignment? So I think there should be a mechanism to ensure that this entire process is safe for everybody who are end user, or buying products from these e-commerce platforms.
Amber, stay with us. And in fact, we have run out of time. Thank you to both of you for speaking to us. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Some breaking news coming in. Flipkart has, as I said, terminated the